welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a huge grocery haul from Sam's and Walmart. I've already went, so now I'm just going to show it to you, but it is so hot outside. I just want to make that comment right now. It's barely even summer and the heat index is 100 already where I am in Oklahoma. So I am curious to know, leave a comment below and let me know what the temperature is currently where you live and where you live, or whereabouts do you live, because this heat is crazy and summer has barely started. But anyway, let's go ahead and go over this grocery haul. I will start with Sam's first and then I'll move on to Walmart, and I will try to remember to tell you how much I spent at each place. Okay, so at Sam's, we like to get our toilet paper and paper towels there because between the two of them, one is like, I don't know, around 20, the other one's like 25, so $45. And these last us for probably 2 months-ish. So that's really nice because we don't have to spend that too often. And then I'll show you this Shasta. We did not get this for our house. Our church has a children's, the children's ministry is having a fundraiser. And so I said that we would provide the soda for it. So that's what that is for. But as far as pop in our house, I have cut that out. We have been going to the gym for, I don't know, this last week. We've all been going together and it's been so good. And so I'm really just trying to do better and not bring a lot of that junk into the house. So this is not for our house. This is for our church fundraiser. So anyway, and if you see any mess in the background, ignore it. I'll be cleaning that, not in this video today, but I'll be doing that here in a minute. Okay, so I got this Sara Lee Delightful 45-calorie bread. It's still bread. I myself am not really doing a lot of bread, but the kids still like to have sandwiches and things, so I thought, well, they can at least have this on hand. I don't know how they're going to deal with this, but anyway, we'll try it out. It's so hard to not call my son, who's almost 20, like a kid. He still lives in the house. He's still in school and things. But anyway, they'll have to just deal with it. Okay, and then we've got this carb balance tortillas. I've got several recipes. I actually did a meal plan this week, and I'm going to do my chalkboard. I'm going to fill that out with you guys here in just a minute. But anyways, I don't remember what recipe that's for, but that's for a recipe. Bananas, just to have some of those on hand. We were out of cornstarch. My husband uses that a lot for his chicken. And then some ranch seasoning. I've got a few recipes coming up that need that. Honey, because same thing. We've got some recipes that need that. Peanut butter, because I try to keep that on hand, like I said, just for easy sandwiches during the day, during the week. And then canola oil. I'm considering switching. This is supposed to be better than vegetable oil. We switched to that a long time ago, but I'm considering switching it up again to something else, but I need to do my research first. But if you guys have any recommendations as far as like healthy fats go, is there a better cooking oil? Not now, I use olive oil too, but anyway, if you have any recommendations, let me know. And then we got baby spinach, so I have a couple recipes that call for that. And then back here, green beans and corn. I just like to keep those in the pantry. And then for some reason, Del Monte at Sam's, they don't have sweet peas. Otherwise, I would get that too. But anyway, and then we really like these from Sam's. They're much cheaper at Sam's than Walmart. This is a 2-pound package, and it's like $3 something, maybe $3.24 or something like that. I don't know. And then this 6-pack of bell peppers. I have several recipes coming up that call for this, so we'll be using that. And then cauliflower. I don't remember if we had a recipe that calls for this or not, but I did want to have that on hand, and then my husband's been wanting broccoli on hand. So worst case scenario, after a few days, if we don't actually need it in any of these recipes, I'll just go ahead and cut it up and then put it in a freezer bag and freeze it. And then we've got this almond milk here. That is not the brand I usually get. But they didn't, for some reason, this Sam's I've been going to that's closer to our house they have not been having the one I usually get. So I either was going to go without, drive all the way across town, which I was not doing in this heat, or get, get some at Walmart. And I didn't want to do that either. So I just went ahead and got this. And the reason I don't really like the Members Mark brand in this is because it says unsweetened vanilla, but I really wish they would just do unsweetened almond and not vanilla, because this, I mean, if we're going to have cereal or drink a glass of milk or something, that's what we use. So we don't always want it to be vanilla. And I mean, and we cook with it too. So that's the big reason why we don't want it to be flavored. And then cottage cheese, because we've got some things. I think one of the recipes, that's what I was going to use the tortillas for. Some breakfast burritos. It calls for some cottage cheese. So, and then turkey bacon and cheese, and then feta cheese. I think we've got a few recipes that call for this, but also I would just like to keep that on hand. And then this bag of frozen blueberries, which really needs to get in the freezer because it is so hot. But anyway, this was my haul from Sam's. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit or something. Well, anyway, this is my haul from Sam's. I spent, including the Shasta, which was about $55 of it. So including all of this that I showed you here, and then our paper towels and stuff right here. This was like $250. So less than $200 for all this stuff if you don't count in the Shasta that I got. So, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put all of this stuff away because it really needs to get in the fridge, and then I will show you what I got at Walmart. Okay, so here is my Walmart grocery haul. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. I got 2 packs of chicken breasts. I already have chicken breasts on hand, and this will probably last us a little while, especially because for each breast, they're so thick, I usually will cut them in half and call that 2. And that always works for us, so I'll continue to do that. But I got 2 packs of those just to kind of stock up. We will use several of those breasts throughout the week, though. And so, here's a little tip for you guys. Maybe a lot of you do this already, I don't know, but just in case, when I buy these packs, I don't put them straight in the freezer like this. I will separate them. I will put 3 or 4 in a gallon size freezer bag and just kind of put them in there, not touching if possible. And then I'll lay them flat in the freezer and they'll freeze like that. And then that way you can just pull them out singly as you need them. It's the same concept as if you were to buy the bagged frozen breasts that are all individually frozen in there, and those are usually more expensive than this. So I just always do it myself, but I got 2 of those. I got turkey breakfast sausage because I think I'm going to use this in a protein breakfast burrito that I'm doing, and then 2 different types of cheeses, mozzarella and Swiss. And I will say on this too, sometimes I will buy shredded cheese. My husband does all the time. I don't, because when you buy shredded cheese, they add the extra stuff to it to stop it from packing together. And it's just something unnecessary that our body really doesn't need. So I always try to go for the block cheese, and I will just run it through the food processor with the little grating or shredder, the cheese grater part of it. And that does just fine. So we got that for some recipes. Fresh cilantro, fresh basil, and oregano. I needed fresh dill also, but they didn't have it. And that's fine. Moving forward, I probably won't necessarily go with the fresh stuff because a lot of these seasonings I keep on hand anyway. And I know the fresh stuff tastes so much better. I do understand that. But I'm a stock your pantry type of girl, and I like to be able to pull from my pantry and not have to meal plan all the time, although I'm trying to get better at that. So these don't really work for that. Let's see. And then some plain yogurt. I've got a few different ideas for this. Some breakfast stuff. We use it for sour cream. It's just all around better than or healthier. It's more nutritious, I should say, than sour cream. So we switched to that recently. Limes for some recipes. Cucumbers, I normally don't buy these wrapped ones, but they had 2 left, and I needed 2 of the regular cucumbers, but they did not look very good. So I just thought, well, we'll try these. And these are quite a bit longer than a regular cucumber, but I thought, well, we could always just cut them up and eat them like that. Tomatoes, because I needed some of those for some recipes. These little small tomatoes, oh yeah, they're grape tomatoes, so we needed some of that. And I think I've told you guys this before. We don't drink whole milk. I can drink it, but my kids, they say that it upsets their stomach. So that's why we switched to almond. But certain recipes, you just need the fat from regular milk. So that's for something I've got coming. I'm not sure. And then we are trying to eat healthier. But when it comes to my coffee, that's a work in progress. I'm going to continue on this journey, drinking my coffee the way I always do until I can figure out a better plan. So I need coffee creamer for that. And then I have got, let's see, these whole natural almonds. They're raw. They're not flavored. They're not, no salt or anything like that on them. I found this recipe for some healthy style granola bars. So I thought I want to try that. So it calls for that. And then we're going to be doing a lot of like protein bowls, power bowls. I found several recipes with that. And I'm realizing that a lot of them call for things like this, the ones that I'm liking and found, I guess. So, which I like to have these on hand anyway. So I went ahead and grabbed those. And then this tricolor quinoa, I think is how you say it. So, supposed to be a better option over rice. Maybe it is a type of rice. It's comparable to rice. But it's supposed to be much healthier. So, but I think the serving size is a 1/4 cup. So it's not like you could just pile your bowl full of that, because then it would still just not be very good for you. But we thought we would give that a try. I've got a few recipes that call for that. And these chickpeas, I've got some recipes that call for that. And then I'm also seeing that a lot of the protein bowls that we're liking call for that. So I kind of wanted to stock up a little bit on that. Then I've got this no sugar added applesauce. This goes in the granola bars or protein, but whatever they were. This goes in that. And there is a little bit of sugar in that, but I don't think the recipe called for that much. And so I just thought, well, if it does add sugar, when it won't add a whole lot overall. So, and then apple cider vinegar. I have been putting this in my water in the morning. Like, I've been drinking an ice cold glass of water with probably a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of this added to my water. And it takes a second to get used to, but I tell you what, when I wake up in the morning now, it's like I crave this. I want this first thing. And apple cider vinegar has so many nutritious properties to it. One of them, I cannot remember. I did the research on it, but one is just, overall gut health. But so if you decide that's something you want to do, just make sure it's got the mother in it. See at the bottom? With the mother, and that's what that sediment and stuff is at the bottom. So anyway, if you do, get this one, and you want to make sure you shake it up before you pour it. Minced garlic, we go through this for everything. This, what is this? Chipotle peppers in adobe sauce. I need this for a recipe. Beef bouillon. I needed this for a recipe, but I keep this on hand anyway, especially over the colder months. It's nothing to see 2 or 3 stocked up in my pantry. 2 or 3 of these, because we use it in a lot of things. Well, we used to. I'm trying to eat different, so I don't know. We'll see. And then this Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. My husband introduced me to this, and the macros are really good on it. So if this is something you're watching, or, if this is something you're paying attention to in your diet, then you might check this brand out. I don't remember if I said this, but everything here is from Walmart. So you'd be able to find that at Walmart. And then what else? I got a bunch of different seasonings. Some I needed for recipes. Most of these I keep in my pantry, and I was just out. So, and I just went ahead and grabbed this because I couldn't find the fresh dill, which I like to keep this on hand. I don't have to buy it very often, but I like to keep that on hand too, so I went ahead and grabbed that. And then I have jumped on the bandwagon for the avocado toast, and if you have not tried it, you guys try it. It is so good. And there's so many different variations of it too, but anyway, I've been wanting to try everything. This is everything but the salt, but I think it's supposed to be everything but the bagel type seasoning. So I went ahead and got the Mrs. Dash. I eventually like to switch to a lot. I don't even know how many different seasonings they offer in this, but I would like to find out and see what we might be able to replace in our pantry with this. So, and then some pitted dates. I absolutely love these. I might be the only one in my family that does. I think they confuse it with prunes. I'm not sure, but they're not prunes. They're dates, and they are so good. And it's a healthier alternative when you just have a sweet tooth. But they do still have sugar in it. But this is also something that is going to go in those granola bars. So I grabbed some of those. And then just some gallon freezer bags, sandwich bags, and then some more hand soap. Normally I get mine from the Dollar Tree because I don't know why. I just like their bottles. I didn't necessarily always want to get this soft soap, but with the heat, I was not going to multiple places. So, and I got these for the kitchen because we're almost out. So I got a watermelon and a lemon. So I think we'll probably go with watermelon next because the soap we have right now is lemon. So, but anyway, here is my Walmart grocery haul. And this, I think, was $150. So, but, you know, several of, you know, some of that was these spices, which I don't have to buy too often. Freezer bags, sandwich bags, I don't have to buy those too often. That meat will last us a little bit. But we do have some fresh stuff, some cold stuff that you do have to buy on a more regular basis. But so I guess overall I spent $400, but about 55 of that was the soda for the children's fundraiser. So about $345, $350, I guess, is what I spent. And I don't grocery shop like this all the time, honestly. But with this way that we're changing, the way we're eating, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. Right now, I'm learning for the different protein bowls and things like that, the basic stuff that we just need to keep on hand, like the chickpeas or just different, you know, like this juice or the quinoa or, you know, just things like that. So it'll be much easier once I actually get a feel for it and get going. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this away, separate the chicken, get that put in the freezer. And then after that, I want to share with you, I got some new markers from Amazon, and then I want to fill out my menu, or make a menu rather, on my chalkboard in the kitchen. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Okay, guys, so I just did my chalkboard with this chalk paint or chalk markers. So this is what the box looks like, and it came with 8. Here's the markers, really easy to use. I actually had, I needed to redo something, and it was so easy to wipe off. So anyway, if you're interested in this, I got these off of Amazon, and they were, I don't know, less than $10, right around $10. I don't remember. And they got to me in a day. So I can link these below if you're interested. But here is, don't mind this junk table over here. That is literally junk. So here is our chalkboard. And my original plan was to make this, the menu on top, smaller than this, and then put 2 calendars on here. I was only able to fit 1. So I do want to go through and make this smaller because I do want to put 2 months on it. It would be nice if we could fit 3, but I know that we can't. So, but I do want to have 2 months. That way I can do, like right now, June and July. And then when June's over, erase it and then just put August and then just keep it flowing like that. So I just found a template I just Googled a menu template and I found something that I liked. And then I just kind of took it from there. So Monday, we're going to do a Chipotle chicken bowl. Tuesday, ranch chicken stuffed peppers. Wednesday, barbecue chicken power bowl. Thursday, chicken with spinach and feta. Friday, skillet ranch chicken. Saturday, crock pot ribs, which actually we're starting here because today's Saturday. So I've already got these in the crock pot. I did that before I left to go get up all my groceries. And then tomorrow, Sunday, we'll have Greek chicken power bowl. And then I made a spot over here for just things that we pull out of the fridge or pantry and reuse the last of, because my husband cooks just as much as I do. And I think this will make it so much easier for us to stop saying, well, I didn't know we were out of that because the other person finished it off. So now we can just come up here and add it. And then if it's added and then one of us just grabs it throughout the week before we actually go do an actual grocery haul, then I made these little boxes here that we can just mark it off so we know that we don't need to add that to the grocery list. And then the calendar down here. So I really like this. I hope that we can actually stick to it. It really is just going to depend on me. But I'm hoping this will help me get more organized and help us to stay on track and eat healthier, because all of these, like I said, I looked all of these up. I mean, the crock pot ribs is not. That was just ribs that we had in the deep freeze that we needed to go ahead and use before they went, got freezer burned or anything. But the rest of these, I looked all of these up, and they're just packed full of good, veggies and protein and things like that. So when I actually do one or two of them, I will probably film at least one and share that with you guys. And then, of course, share the link with you. But if you're interested in trying any of these, let me know and I can share the link with you. So what I do, in case you were wondering, when I am looking up new recipes, no matter where I find it, I know there's some all over Pinterest, but I don't necessarily save the stuff to my Pinterest board. It's just more complicated for me when I'm going to turn around. It's just a little more complicated for me whenever I'm cooking. And so I like to, what I do is I email the link to me, and in the subject line, I put what the name of the recipe is. And if I know I'm going to put it in a certain video, then I'll put that date so I can go and find it. So if you're making videos too, and this is something that you do, maybe you could, that's a good tip for you. But anyway, so I email the recipe to me, and then that way I can, when I'm ready, I can go ahead and click that link and then print it, because I like to have a paper copy on hand, and then I can go ahead and just file it away so that I always have it. But anyway, that's going to be the end of today's video. I want to thank you so much for coming along with me on this grocery haul. I hope you guys are staying cool because it is so hot. And I want to thank you if you are a subscriber and you come back and watch all of my videos. I thank you so much. If you are new here and have not subscribed yet, I would appreciate it so much if you did. That really helps my channel. If you guys just comment below, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, share it with your friends, all of those things. Like I said, it really helps my channel grow and get it in front of other people. So anyway, until the next one, you guys, bye.
Open up a window. I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is light.